My own mother thought I was a monster. She was right, of course. I just want to make my entrance a little dramatic. Hi, welcome. Are you ready to finally go to sleep? Perfect. Bubble cleanse. Each bubble will capture a stray nightmare fragment. Open your mouth. Bubble cleanse complete. Thought detangler. With this, I am going to straighten your messy mind so you don't stress out, okay? Wow, that is a lot of stress. I think I'm gonna have to actually shave her whole head. Oh. done. Look at this pretty pair of scissors. I'm cutting off all of your bad thoughts like that. Done. Now that all the impurities are removed, I shall now give you blessings. You are in your most blessed era. You are no blessed. You are favored. You are the most favorite. Everything is in your favor. You are blessed. You are. Yes, you are special. It would depend actually if like a lot of people would watch this, so that means you're not actually special. But if you are watching this, it means you are special. Watching this makes you special because not a lot of people, first of all, watches ASMR, right? And then also, not a lot of people likes ASMR like this. You are special, and I'd also like to think that I am special. So like you watching this will You are now fully blessed. My horn is not just a body part for aesthetics, it is an actual function. It emits calming frequency. I'm activating sleep mode and hold still. Done. Stardust sprinkles. What? Oh, this doesn't do anything whatsoever. Just wanna bezazzle you a little bit because you look kind of boring. You can't possibly sleep looking like that. Oh well, that is all the sprinkles I have. Oh, one last thing. You should know that I don't do this a lot, so this is like a really huge deal. Huge. I am giving you my necklace for extra protection. Protection from what?
From nightmares, of course.
You are finally sleeping better tonight. Bedtime story time. Happy time. I am going to be telling you a story while you stare at this music box without the music. Just watch the snow swirling round and round. Tonight, I shall tell a perfectly accurate version of a beloved classic, exactly as I remember it. Now, if you remember differently, well, that's just your opinion, okay? Once upon a time, there was this girl named Cinderella. Well, not really. That's just what everyone started calling her because she was constantly covered in suits from sleeping next to the fireplace. A bit rude, if you ask me. Anyway, Cinderella's mom dies and her dad's like, I guess I'll remarry. Which in fairy tale is almost never a good sign. Like, just don't. So the stepmother moves in with her two daughters, and let me tell you, these three were dedicated haters. They couldn't sing, couldn't paint, couldn't do anything particularly impressive, really. Their one talent was seeing someone happy and immediately thinking, absolutely not. Yeah, haters. Then Cinderella's dad died too, unfortunately. So the stepmother gets the house, the daughters get the nice bedrooms, and Cinderella gets every chore ever. The stepmother would be like, go sweep. And then she's like, actually, while you're there, polish the silver. Oh, and wash the laundry. And make dinner. And after that, sort every lentil from every grain of rice. I'm pretty sure Cinderella finished next week's chores before this week even started. But somehow, she stayed nice. Ugh, couldn't be me. Personally, I would poison their meal or something. Then one day, the king's like, my son needs a wife. And instead of introducing him to literally anyone, he throws a massive ball and invites every eligible woman in the kingdom, including Cinderella. Then the stepmother's like, oh sure, you can go. After you've cleaned the entire house, made tomorrow's meals, brushed the horses, folded all the blankets, polished every window, sorted all the lentils, blah blah blah. At this point, she's just adding side quests for fun. So Cinderella's like, okay, girl, stand up for yourself. This is your fucking house. She just stood there holding a broom, sad, while her stepmother and sisters left for the ball. Then, surprise, this fairy godmother appeared out of nowhere. Where was she for the last 10 years? She misses the abuse but shows up the second there's an outfit involved. Wow, her priorities are interesting. She's like, don't worry, bestie. Bippity boppity boo. Whatever. With a graceful wave of her wand, a pumpkin became a magnificent golden carriage. Several mice became elegant horses. A particularly confused lizard found himself promoted to a royal footman. Then she gave Cinderella this gorgeous, gorgeous dress and a glass slipper. Glass, really? As if heels aren't already uncomfortable enough. Who honestly looked at that situation and thought, you know what this needs? The possibility of shattering. Oh my god, fairy godmother, couldn't you make this girl's life easier for one night? Then the fairy godmother's like, be home by midnight. Cinderella's like, fine. Then off she goes. Transition. At the palace, the prince immediately noticed Cinderella. Immediately. The prince rejected every single one except for her. Wow. Anyway, they danced together for one evening, but exchanged literally zero identifying information. And apparently that was enough for the prince to conclude that she'd be an excellent, lifelong companion. One look and he's like, yep, that's her. Sir, you don't know her name. You don't know where she lives. You don't know what she does. She could collect teeth, for all you know. She could be wanted in 7 kingdoms. You don't know. You never ask. But when it's love, when you know, I guess. They danced for hours and hours until the clock began striking midnight. Cinderella suddenly remembers the pumpkin situation. She panicked and ran down the endless marble staircase, through the towering palace doors, and into the moonlit courtyard. One glass slipper slipped off, but she didn't look back. Matter of fact, I think she should have thrown the other slipper away too, so she could run easily, but fairy tales, plot convenience, I guess. And surprise, the prince found the glass slipper. So of course, he announced the only logical solution. He would travel throughout the kingdom and marry whichever woman could wear it. Not the woman he spent the entire evening dancing with. Not even, has anyone perhaps written down her name? No, the slipper. The slipper would know. So the prince traveled from village to village, while countless women tried on the slipper. And apparently across the entire kingdom, no one, absolutely no one, not one woman has the same shoe size as Cinderella. What? According to the older version of the story, one stepsister looks at the shoe and then looks at her foot. And instead of accepting defeat, she's like, I'll remove my heel. She slices part of it for a shoe for a man she has never spoken to. Ladies, we can do better. The plan almost worked too, until blood starts filling it. And luckily, some birds, random birds, see everything and informed the prince like, excuse me, your future wife appears to be leaking. Eventually, the second sister attempted that as well, but this time, toes. And once again, the birds filed another complaint. Finally, Cinderella stepped forward. She still has all her toes and all her heels. And oh, the sleeper fit perfectly. Imagine that. Only then the prince recognized her, which raises so many questions. Did you actually spend the entire evening dancing with this woman only to forget what she looks like the next morning? Was the ballroom illuminated exclusively by solid candles? Did the glass slippers emit some sort of face-obscuring enchantment? I don't know. Frankly, I don't think the prince knows either. The wedding day came, and it was magnificent. Flowers covered every path. Music drifted through the palace. The kingdom rejoiced. Even the birds attended. Unfortunately, so did the stepsisters. And according to the original version of the tale, the birds flew down and pecked out both sisters' eyes. I mean, deserve for trying to scam the prince, but anyway. And so, Cinderella lived happily ever after, which probably included disagreements about curtains, estate taxes, and whose turn it was to host a royal banquet. But I won't mention that. I prefer happy endings. Good night. Good night. Good night.